So yeah, I mean, if I look at what's going on at the conference here, look at events and news and kind of what people have been doing over the past few months, there's a few things that emerge. One of the things that's clear is that business models are different for different kinds of content. And I don't think it's generally recognized, but if you separate out what's good ad supported for linear, what's good ad supported for on-demand inventory, and what's not necessarily going to be supported by ad inventory, I think you have clear categories of SVOD makes a good medium for entertainment, where it's something more relaxed, it's going to be a longer form video that you don't want to be interrupted because it's inconsistent with the experience, it's inconsistent with expectations. Sure, there's opportunities for some ads, but it's not going to be a heavily ad-supported environment. If you go to short-form content, well, that's probably a pretty good environment for ad-supported medium, and there's different business models, different opportunities around that. Then you go to, well, what really works for a traditional linear broadcast model, and it's been mentioned a few times today, but it's basically things like news and sports. You see some of the talks from Tom from Captify. You look at the investments Fox is making when they did the asset sale to Disney. Right now in the US, they went to 4 to 6 days a week of sports, just in the US, and news. So those are things that are well aligned with their existing business model, with consumer expectations, and it's great. And I think that once you have a better way to kind of separate out what's going on, then it's easier to go and say, okay, look, where am I as a publisher or TV broadcaster? Understand that, once upon a time, everybody watched the same thing on a few channels. It was all ad supported. Then along came some pay TV, and then along came some catch-up or time-delayed TV. Various things have happened over time, and in order for there to be a happy ending to the story, well, you need to have followed along the story to understand where you are. It's not digital. It's not traditional linear necessarily. And then how do you increase and work with what you have? How do you monetize the audience in a better way? Is that going to impression-based? Does that make sense for your kind of inventory? Not everybody's strategy is the same. It needs to take into account the market, the circumstances. People want local content. People want to know the local news. They want to understand their sports teams. They want to have that shared experience. Is that, depending on what form that takes, is it ad-supported or not? And again, how do you bring that to the market? And then how do you bring tools to support each of those people or each of those organizations in the role that makes sense for them, and go from the basis of, here's an understanding, here's where we've gone, we're in this together to go to the next step, so that there's a good story for everybody, not just, okay, the sky is falling. Well, that's not a fun story. A much better story is, okay, this is what we've done and this is what we can do together. Let's have an understanding, let's understand the opportunity in front of us, and then take the next steps to move forward.